All right, today is May the 11th, 2017, and right now at 8:30 p.m. we have a temperature of 59 degrees. The relative humidity is 72%. The barometer is reading 29.95 inches, and the dew point is 50 degrees. And today we had clear skies until about 5 p.m., and that's when we started to see the chemtrail jets up spraying diagonally from the southeast up to the northwest. We've got a no rain forecast. We've got moisture moving in. And actually, we can see that much better on the SSEC water vapor map right here. We can see that moisture field right here, moving right into Southern California, which is right down here. So, of course, as I've mentioned over and over again, when we have a no rain forecast and we have a moisture field moving in, what do we see? We see a lot of chemtrail spraying. And so that's what we saw today, starting at about 4 to 5 p.m., depending on where you were in Southern California. I would say that probably the people in San Diego got a lot more spraying than us up here, since the bulk of that was moving right through the San Diego County and Orange County. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other maps. Here we have the water vapor map for the Southwest. We see that flow pattern. And let's look now at the northwest, or rather the northeast Pacific water vapor loop right here. We have the moisture field right here moving in, just a small area of moisture. We also have this area of moisture right here moving towards the Southern California. But there's a lot of things going on. We have a upper level low right here trying to spin. And what we have here is an engineered blockade of high pressure. This is a transmitter generated blockade, which is going to stop this flow from this next system right here. We have a storm here and a storm up here. And so we have a lot of moisture flow down, or rather to the east, and that is all being stopped right here. This is a blockade. Everything is walling up and mushrooming right here and not able to get into this vortex down here. So this has been all engineered. We can see the right here the outflow where that transmitter is just evaporating and carving a high pressure channel right here, and that will separate this from the low pressure system here. We have high pressure installed in this area. We see that clockwise rotation, so this area is being forced up and over that high pressure. And then we have another blockade right here between this developing gale and this weather system here, which has a frontal system wrapping around. We can see that there's a lot of outflow right here. Let's look at the IR map. We see that circular outflow pattern. Everything is sort of mushrooming here as the descending air creates this outflow. And so what's happening is that the high pressure right in this channel right here is maintaining separation between this area of low pressure and this system up here. So we've got high pressure. This is indicated to be moving to the south. It looks more like it's moving in a northerly direction. We'll take a look at that on the on the surface analysis map. Here's the jet stream map, and we can see the flow pattern right around that low pressure system off the northwest. So we've got jet stream flow, and we'll go back and take a look at the map, because there's a transmitter blowing a hole and actually evaporating this moisture right about here. So they've got a transmitter focused right on top of this jet stream flow. This is something you won't see on the news tonight. Let's take a look at the next map here. This is the western U.S. water vapor map, and this is the GIF. I couldn't get the HTML and the Flash maps to work, so we're using the GIF, which is positioned up in the far corner. Anyhow, here we are. We've got a transmitter right here, which is evaporating the moisture in the jet stream. Now imagine this, if they show this on television on the nightly weather reports. Of course they will not. This just completely shoots holes all through the climate change narrative that we hear on mainstream media. We've got a transmitter, a satellite-based microwave right here, shutting off the water spigot. This is the jet stream flow, the river of water wrapping right into Northern California. And of course, when they do something like this, this evaporates the moisture in the water vapor flow. And then we see literally that the water spigot is shut off. And that's what we're seeing right here. So that's why we have cartoon animated weather on television. The news will not show the water vapor and the infrared maps or the visible light maps for not only this reason, but the fact that these storms are so large, and yet Southern California and other areas don't get much rain from these systems. Okay, so that's a couple of good reasons why we get cartoon weather instead of actual satellite weather data, as was the case just a few years ago. Back about 20 years ago, we used to get fairly accurate reports on television, but things have all changed as the weather controllers have continued to hone their skills and work with Wall Street to manipulate weather patterns and to then affect the price of fresh water and commodities, and also the supply of fresh water and commodities throughout the nation. So this is a scam that is deep, it's far and wide, and we're trying to get that exposed. Here we have the Northwest Atlantic water vapor loop, and we see that this system right here, this is the storm that we featured in the last video that was wrapping moisture around into central and southern California. We saw that microwave transmitter boring a hole right through the circulation pattern as it was moving back down and around into Southern California. Now, what we're seeing here over Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas and Louisiana is that we've got warm tropical flow merging with this cooler storm that came off the Pacific. All right, so and we see that there is a half-hearted attempt that's deliberately so right here. There is some attempt being made to maintain separation between this tropical flow and this cooler flow. Let's look at that now in the infrared loop. We can see the what's happening here. They turn the transmitter on about halfway through this loop. We see a nice channel, a very well-defined channel there. Let's just scroll through it slowly. We can see what happens as we get about halfway through the loop. Right here we see that this area is cleared out. This is about halfway through the loop. As we finish the loop out, the 7 1/2 hour loop, we see this fill in with the moisture. So this is a pulsed transmitter feature we're seeing here. And so they being the weather controllers, are allowing this warmer flow to get involved with this cooler system. And of course, that's going to cause a lot of tornadoes and wild weather. Tomorrow, we may read about golf ball and baseball size hail from this weather system. And there's a transmitter right here. We can take a look at the very odd shapes and angles right here as this area is blown apart. Look at this. We have a blast pattern right up here. Look at that ring right there towards the end of the loop. This is being targeted with microwave right about where the pen tip is. If you live in, let's see, I'm not sure what that state is. Is that Missouri? Okay. Well, if you read about dead birds falling out of the sky in either Kansas or Missouri or Illinois here, let us know. Put a post up on the One Pacific Redwood channel. That's definitely a microwave downburst right there, right over that state, which I believe is Missouri. I should know that. We've got Louisiana, Arkansas. I guess that's Missouri. Okay. At any rate, we'll keep an eye on what happens. Tornadoes, dead birds falling out of the sky, and so forth. All right. Now let's take a look. I don't think I showed the Doppler map, but here's the wild weather, the severe weather right here. There's a lot of yellow and red. That transmitter is focusing right about here. We can see a kind of a circular cutout right there towards the right there. Yep, right there, last frame. And of course, we have a lot of rain up in the northwest from that developing gale offshore. All right, let's take a look at the. We saw this already. We've got this tropical flow. There's a big low pressure system out in the Atlantic. We've got a lot of separation here between this warmer flow and this cooler system that is out in the Atlantic. See that here. There's no reason they can't squash this system out. They are hitting it with microwave. Okay, here's the pressure maps. Real quick, we have the sea level pressure map. High pressure is shown out here in the East Pacific. We have a low right over Idaho and Utah. We've got a low down here over Mexico. And we've got a high pressure area over Colorado, eastern Colorado. Okay, let's look next at the, and we have a lot of squiggly lines in these maps. Look at this. A lot of manipulation going on to maintain separation between this low offshore of the Northwest and this system over Texas. We'll take a look at that next. Here's the 500 millibar. We see all the squiggly lines. This is very strange. That's the satellite transmitter manipulation, maintaining separation between these two lows. This is a surface, or rather a mid and upper level low, both of these. And here we have the 500 millibar map, same thing, squiggly lines. This indicates varying degrees of high and low pressure mixed together right in this area. And that's transmitter generated activity there. So we have a manipulation occurring there. Let's go back and look at the maps again. Right here is where we're looking. We have a lot of transmitter manipulation right in this area. And we can see this area filling out. Right here is where we saw the microwave blasting that storm. There's actually a shock wave moving out right there towards the end of that loop. Okay, so they are maintaining high pressure between these two systems. And of course, they're doing that right here as well. Okay. All right, so that is the report for today. We do have the surface analysis map here, which I haven't shown. We've got the developing gale right here off the northwest. This is indicated to be moving to the southeast. Doesn't appear to be moving that direction, but then we have 3 other lows, actually 4 lows right in this area, and a trough over Nevada. Okay, and then we got the high pressure out here. And this other gale, this is a 979 millibar system, 979 millibar moving to the northeast. Okay, so that is the report for today, and we'll just leave it right here, and we'll do another one tomorrow.